Yeah, this is going to be fun.
How's the jet lag?
Jet lag. I just got back from the States like less than 24 hours ago. I'm filming this on Wednesday. It's got to be up in like 6 hours or something. Woo! Sup, everybody? What's up, everybody? It's Alex Sigrist, and I'm here for another episode of Alex Uncut. Every week, we take questions from the previous Alex Uncut and choose 3 of them, and then I choose one of them. It's like an impromptu speech about whatever the question was. I have no idea what's coming, and I just have fun with that. We'll quit laughing off camera. You guys are ridiculous. So, as always, please leave a question down below. And go ahead and ask me a question for next week that I could use for Alex Uncut. If you haven't already, don't forget to hashtag feed the narcissism, because give it a like and it's just what keeps my narcissism alive and everything. I have about 4 to 10 minutes, depending on how ridiculously long I want to make it, to give you a speech. And why don't we just go ahead and dive into the questions this week? What are the questions we got? Mika and or Lara, whoever's saying it first.
She wants me to go first.
Oh, okay.
So the 7th ELO Sim says...
Sub-7th.
Okay. A question.
Answer.
Sujin asked this, and I want to know also. TV. When we work together, we meet tons of people, but not all of them are friends. What makes you know if they're friend in it for the benefit of befriending you or for their own gain?
So it's an extension on a previous question from a previous Alex Uncut. Cool.
Amy asked, what are your most important rules when going on a date?
Okay.
And Benjamin Engel says, question, should YouTube and other SNS platforms like Facebook and Twitter do a better job policing its platform for fake news, hate, or other inappropriate comment, or should it protect the freedom of speech and leave it all up?
Oh man, that's an intense one. I actually don't. How do you know who's your friends? Should they police hate speech? And dates. You know what? Which one do you guys want to hear this week? I don't know which one to go with.
I'm curious about your dating rules.
All right.
I know about those.
So what's the most important rule you have on a date?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, here we go. Start the clock. There's no clock on here. Ready, set, go. So the question this week is about the most important rule when you go on a date. But since we do have a little bit longer time to talk about it, I want to talk about my general rules about what to do when you're on a date. Now, probably this is going to be towards the guide, since I'm a guy and I'm doing the best that I can to give the advice I've learned over the last 30-some years. I'm just kidding. I've only been dating for like 1. But don't laugh too hard on that one. But I think some women might be able to get some out of it too as well, because it's my perspective. This is what I want to be treated like when I'm on a date. There's lots of rules that you have to have. I think the basic rules that you get in this are important. Like, for example, men should walk on the side of the sidewalk that's closest to the street, open doors. Does it have to be that way? Not at all. Men can do it, women can do it, whatever. When it comes to what really matters in a date, I want to go for what's universal in this. And for me, it's all about the focus. When you're reading a book, when you're watching a movie, when you're studying for a test, if you have other things going around you in the background, you lose focus. You can't have YouTube on while you're trying to study for that finals, which I think some of you may be in high school if you're watching in America right now. You can't be doing other things. You can't be in maybe loud places. You can't be in places with distractions. The same rule of focus really applies when you go on dates. The reason we need to focus on dates is pretty simple. It's one, because you're going to have to remember when she said her sister's name or birthday or favorite color, all those things. If you're not focused, you're going to fail the text next time, because it's just, they get really mad at you. Yeah, Lara is definitely shaking her head yes on that one.
Yes, we do.
But you really should focus, because it helps, one, of course, make your birthday gift selections easier. It helps her know that you care, or him know that you care. It just helps make the relationship a lot smoother. But the other reason that we really need to, quote, focus on the person in front of us is very simple. It's that it helps you fall for them a little bit more. Let me explain it. If you're out on a date, and I take this one very seriously. If you're out on a date, if I'm going on a date with somebody and there are attractive women around us at a bar, at a restaurant, on the street, I am intentionally looking away from the attractive women for two reasons. One, of course, to let them know that they are the focus of the date. And number two, it's distracting. If you're looking at an attractive woman on the side, your mind goes to different places and you're not focused on the content. Then when that test comes, you kind of forget what dress she wore that day. You forget what she said about hating scary movies and how she hates it. Then you suggest it and she's like, but you know I hate it. When you're focused on the wrong people, it hurts. Now, I know a lot of people out there are going to say, yeah, but it's human nature. Men, women, we just look at attractiveness and go, of course, I do that too. I do that when I'm walking down the street. Your eyes dart to what's attractive, a shiny object, literally a diamond, or an attractive person. It's just what happens. There's nothing you can do about it. But you can intentionally look the other way. You can intentionally stare deeper into their eyes or look at the table if that's what it takes to be not distracted by the attractive people around you. I mean, that's kind of what you have to do. You've got to deliver full focus. Let's talk about some of the ways you can do that. I gave you some of the ways when it comes to turning your eyes to the right, to the left, whichever direction, to make sure that you aren't being distracted by that shiny object over there. Other things you can do is really focus on your thoughts. What I mean by that is planning your next moves. So, for example, if you see a door over there, the easy thing to do is, okay, I'm going to get there first, I'm going to grab the door, I'm going to open up the door for him or her. The next thing could be focused on the conversation. Where do I want to lead this conversation to next? Where is she leading this conversation to next? And I should follow her because she wants to talk about what happened to her during the day, and if you focus on the wrong things, well then, goes off into a million different ways. Really need to pay attention to what she's talking about and be focused on the conversation. Now, I keep saying it as if it sounds like you're just trying to make the guy, the man, or the woman feel like the date is all about them, and that's really important too, but I have to go back and stress. For me, it's about forcing me to fall more in love. It's forcing me to be more invested in the relationship. It's forcing me to care about what's going on. If you're focused on making sure that she's fine, if you're focused on making sure that you're not interrupting her thoughts, if you're focused on making sure that he feels attractive or something when he was saying something about how I feel like I've put on some pounds, whatever it is, when you're, please leave some attractive comments in there. You could tell I'm just fixing my hair still this whole time. If you're focused on the other person, it's not about making them happier necessarily. It's about making both of you happier, both of you more involved in the relationship. So my number one rule when it comes to dating, I know this is shorter than normal, is really to give 100% of your focus on that person. It's hard. I don't do it every date. I put away my phone, but sometimes I think about work. But when you put your focus into a relationship, you get them more invested in you, and you get yourself more invested in the relationship.
That's 8 minutes.
That's kind of short compared to my normal ones.
It is?
Yeah, I know, right? I need to get these back down to a shorter length in general, but this was okay, right? It wasn't.
It's about dating.
It's about dating. I don't have much to talk about. There's so many things that I don't know about dating. If you have something you want to say, leave it in the comments because, trust me, I left out a lot. What's your most important rule when it comes to dating? Is it choosing your date, or is it what you do while you're on the date? Or if I said something messed up and wrong, please go ahead and leave a comment because I need to fix myself. I may have said a few things wrong. That's okay.
A little bit.
A little bit. Hey, it's Alex Uncut. You know how it is. We try to keep it as real as possible. Please leave a comment down there about next week's questions as well. And I'm going to go ahead and answer the other two. But before I do that, what part was...
So, what do you think if social media should...
No. What was a little bit off?
Oh, the little bit off?
Yeah.
I think that not only you have to force yourself to fall in love with her or whatever, but also you have to focus on what she's saying. Cause
absolutely.
As well as focusing on your next step, that is good, but some people focus so much on what they're going to say next that they don't even listen. Yes,
also important as well. When it comes to the other question, social media, I do believe in censorship to an extent. Like you can't yell fire in a movie theater because it could create a panic and people can get hurt. There are some things you are not allowed to say in public because they can cause a mass panic. However, I generally lead to non-censorship. You know, I think about the different governments of the world, China versus America versus Europe, generally don't want people to be censored. And then the other one, how do you know if someone's being your friend or someone's just trying to take advantage of you? I kind of mentioned it in a comment to him, but I just gotta go with, you gotta ask your friends. It's hard to know yourself if someone's taking advantage of you, but if your friend sees something and they don't like the way you're being treated, that is a telltale sign that you're being taken advantage of. Okay, that's it. Don't forget to hashtag feed my narcissism, please, and go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell, because it's fun. See me every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I made it through an episode after I just got back from America. Peace! Everybody, stay real, stay cool, stay you. I'll see you next time.